Well, good morning, and thank you all for joining us as we close out another historic and highly productive spring session of the Illinois General Assembly. I'm genuinely proud of our major accomplishments, and I'm grateful to my partners for their tireless efforts to deliver for this great state. We didn't shy away from addressing the immediate challenges that face Illinois families or the long-term ones our state has begun to overcome. And we didn't let extremists or self-serving special interests get in the way of finding real solutions. It took hard work, compromise, and creativity, but that's what's required to make transformational progress for the people of Illinois. For the 6th consecutive year, I introduced and the legislature passed a balanced budget that invests in our future while putting money back in the hands of hardworking Illinoisans. It seems like every year there have been the usual naysayers with their false narratives about our budget. But this is year 6, not year 1. The record is clear. We grew the rainy day fund to over $2.3 billion. We increased our state's pension funded ratio. We paid off our overdue bill backlog. We eliminated nearly all short-term debt in the state, all while surpassing a $1 trillion economic GDP output. Our record of fiscal responsibility and responsible investments is well established. If you don't want to take my word for it, just ask those who independently evaluate our state's creditworthiness. Over the last 3 years, Illinois has received 9 credit upgrades and attracted more and bigger investors than ever before. Our state is in its strongest fiscal position in decades. This FY25 budget continues that progress. That starts with our youngest Illinoisans and their families. We're building on the historic successes of the Smart Start Illinois program with a $400 million investment in preschool access, child care workforce, early intervention, and home visiting programs across all of Illinois. This budget also creates the new Department of Early Childhood, which will make it easier to serve children, parents, and providers. We also continue our march toward educational excellence with historic levels of funding for our K-12 public schools, another year of record reductions in teacher vacancies, and expansion of career and technical education. We expanded scholarships and MAP grant funding, bringing us to a highest ever investment of $761 million in total to make sure that every person who wants to can access high-quality higher education in Illinois. The FY25 budget includes nearly $3 billion to support people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, their families, and the systems that support them. This is the largest ever amount invested in DD, a testament to our consistent commitment to rebuilding supports for our most vulnerable. One of the challenges facing families across America has been affordability, especially for those trying to raise a family. Rising prices have hit working families the hardest, so we focused on finding ways to reduce costs and put more money in their pockets. That's why we eliminated the state sales tax on groceries and then created the first ever Illinois child tax credit, providing as much as $300 for working class and middle class families. We're also eliminating nearly $1 billion in medical debt for more than 300,000 Illinoisans in financial peril because of an injury or illness totally outside of their control. Healthcare needs to be more affordable and accessible. So we took on predatory insurance practices and put power back in the hands of doctors and patients through the Healthcare Protection Act. For too long, a patient seeking medically necessary treatment would be delayed or denied because of an insurance executive hundreds of miles away who knew that they could make an extra buck for the insurance company. Illinois has now prohibited that. In fact, we have put into law a nation-leading package of reforms that makes it easier and more affordable for people by banning step therapy, banning prior authorization for crisis mental health care, banning junk insurance plans, and ending unchecked rate increases for large group insurance companies. All of those things improve affordability and access to health care. I told you last February that I'd put my shoulder to the wheel to get this done, and I'm very grateful to the many advocates who helped get it across the finish line. I'd especially like to thank the chief sponsors of the Healthcare Protection Act, Representative Anna Mueller, Senator Robert Peters, and also Senator Laura Fine, who got Democrats and Republicans together to give this a strong bipartisan majority. Comprehensive health care access means fully protecting reproductive health care. This session, we set out to not only affirm that fundamental right, but build an infrastructure where every woman, no matter her income level, her race, or her zip code, can have a safe and healthy pregnancy. So we launched one of the most robust birth equity initiatives in the entire nation, aimed at closing the tragic gap in maternal mortality and morbidity between Black women and other new parents. It invests in birth centers and providers in underserved areas, expands home visiting, and establishes a pilot program for women who cannot afford diapers. Illinois' new birth equity initiative will save lives, address the unfairness in health treatment at the beginning of life, and build a foundation for a better, more critically competent, community-based care. I'm deeply grateful to all of my General Assembly partners, especially Majority Leader Robin Gable and Senator Lakeisha Collins, for being chief sponsors of this legislation. And I want to make sure to recognize the tireless advocacy of this from a champion of women and families, our Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton. Finally, this budget invests in revving up the engine of economic growth in Illinois and creating well-paying jobs of the future. Since I took office, we have attracted business investment in cutting-edge new industries, invested millions of dollars in capital projects to improve our infrastructure, and made Illinois more competitive with other states when companies are looking for a new home or to build a new facility. In FY25, on a bipartisan basis, we created new incentives to attract private investments to Illinois, and we have set aside matching funds to aggressively compete for federal research and development dollars. That includes investment in a quantum computing campus to make Illinois the undisputed leader for an industry that can attract billions of additional dollars in private investment and create tens of thousands of jobs. We passed transformational legislation that promotes development and a diverse array of industries. That includes electric vehicles, quantum companies, manufacturing, film and television production, and R&D, diversifying and strengthening our economy. Through it all, we maintained our commitment to sustainability and fighting climate change. No place was that more evident than in our historic bipartisan framework for safe carbon capture and sequestration, which balances our promise to promote industry development while protecting our environment. Finally, to briefly recap, we lowered costs for working families. We invested in our children. We secured transformational economic development and job creation opportunities, all while strengthening our state's fiscal health. Thank you very much, and now I'd like to introduce my partner in governance, our great Lieutenant Governor, Juliana Stratton.
Thank you, Governor. Good morning, everyone. I am Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton, she, her pronouns. I'm thrilled to be here celebrating the passage of our administration's 6th balanced budget. To our fearless leader, Governor J.B. Pritzker, thank you. Time and time again, you prove that good leadership can be effective without sacrificing compassion. To Speaker Welch, President Harmon, the lead budget negotiators, and all of our partners in the General Assembly, thank you for your support and commitment to getting the job done. I know it's been a long couple of weeks, but it was worth it, and we celebrate your efforts. And finally, to all of our state agencies and staff, including, of course, Gambi Director Alexis Sturm, thank you for your tireless dedication. You carry the weight of this work, and because of you, Illinoisans are waking up to a brighter future. For years now, you've heard me say, if you want to go fast, you go alone, but if you want to go far, you go together. I cannot think of a time when those words were not more applicable than they are today. The passage of the FY25 budget is a testament to this administration's vision for a more prosperous and equitable Illinois. We are standing here today because everyone came together to get this done. Our collective aim has always been to uplift working families in every corner of the state. From combating homelessness, to stopping predatory insurance practices, to expanding access to holistic birthing care, this budget was steered by a shared moral compass. It prioritizes the humanity of all and reflects our belief that every individual deserves the chance to live a full life. I'm immensely proud to serve alongside Governor Pritzker, whose principled leadership has put our state on a path of fiscal stability and inclusivity. The transformative investments made in this budget will have a profound and lasting impact, paving the way for future generations to dream even bigger.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC7 Chicago Eyewitness News.